What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Tracy, all things mommy, and in today's video I'm about to dissect something that deadbeat fathers always like to talk about. If this is something that you might be interested in, of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I don't know why my algorithm is the way it is right now, but I wish that it would just stop, because in no way, shape, and form, yes, I'm a single mother of 3 children. In no way, shape, or form is my algorithm and my talking about my child's father. I'm not even mumbling child's father. I'm not doing any of those things. So I don't know why my algorithm is that way. Like, maybe I need to delete the people who are always talking about baby daddies, baby mama drama, all of that kind of stuff. I don't know, but I just wish I didn't see what I saw. But I just got to talk to you about this. So here it is. Like I was saying, I was scrolling on Facebook, minding my business, and so I came across this status. They said, call me a deadbeat, but I'm not fighting to be in any of my kids' lives. I shouldn't have to. If I gotta hire lawyers to go to court and etc., then I'll just step back until their mother is ready to have a conversation. Until then, I'll continue being a father to the kids whose mothers allows me to be. There's all types of wrong in this status right here. I don't know who is raising these children, because typically that's what they are. Like, yeah, they're men. They got grown men body parts. They're growing up, but they're still children mentally. Call me a deadbeat, but I'm not fighting, and he put fighting in quotations, to be in any of my kids' lives. Okay, so let's just dissect that sentence right there. Let's explain, why do you feel like you have to fight just to be in your kids' lives? Is it a fight because you were never there? And now the mother decides, okay, hey, I don't want you dipping in and out of my kids' lives, because that's not healthy either. And you're fighting because you feel like, oh, you don't want to be controlled. How are you benefiting the child with constantly fighting the mother that's taking care of your child 24/7, not just on the weekends, not just every other weekend, not when it's court ordered, but 24/7? How could you open up your mouth to fight about anything when this is not an option for her? This is a responsibility. It is a second job, full-time job. How can you fight with a person that literally risks her life to have a kid that you helped create? I'm not understanding. Not every baby mother is bitter. How did I know? I'm one of those ones, okay? I am a single mother of 3 children. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. If it takes for my child's father to just completely walk away, of course it's hurtful. Of course it doesn't feel good, because you didn't lay down and make that child by yourself. You made that child with someone else. So there should be a responsibility, but it still should never, ever be where a woman is taking care of the child and then you say, hey, I feel like getting him this weekend. I feel like getting her this weekend. No, that should never be the case. So again, why are you fighting your child's mother in the first place? Why are y'all going to court? Because 9 times out of 10, when you pop out a baby, they're automatically not just going to go straight to the courthouse unless there's been problems, of course, like throughout, a pregnancy. I've been there too. And there was, I had my daughter, literally had my daughter, which is my 3rd child. And I went straight to the courthouse. But you know how most parents, they go home with their newborn. Well, I went straight to the courthouse because it was just a lot of things that happened around the time that I was in active labor and didn't even realize it. So when you say fight in court, what do you mean? Why are you fighting for rights that was freely given to you? And all you had to do was make a choice and a decision to go out here and do what you're supposed to do as a parent. It's just like, for a woman, I don't know how it is for a man. I mean, I will assume that it's the same thing because I've had both my mother and my father in my life in the home. So yeah, I made decisions, but a lot of people, just to end the conversation, they like to say things like, oh, well, you lay down with this person, as if this is what we asked for. Nobody asked to be a single mother, especially when you had in your mind that, you know, you were in a relationship, in a marriage, or and you were very family oriented, and your family very family oriented. I'm not understanding how that is a cop out excuse to shut down what a single parent has to say, because I'm not asking for sympathy. And if you're a single mother watching this, you shouldn't be asking for sympathy. You don't need to explain yourself, because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you're going to win when your heart is pure, when you have good intentions, and you raise your child the best way. God is going to take care of you. It's going to seem like no doors are going to open. This is not working. It seems like they're going out, living their life freely. Trust me, they're not. It doesn't matter what they tell you. It doesn't matter what they post. They're suffering, okay? And God is handling them, because if you don't take care of your kids, you're not going to go but so far in life. There's going to be you're going to have some things in your hand. You're going to have so many opportunities that's just going to fall through. And you're wondering, why is it always happening? You think about if you're taking care of any of your children. I'm just saying, let's move on, because I feel like I talked about that sentence long enough. It says, I shouldn't have to. Absolutely. You should not have to fight to be in your kids' lives. If you made a conscious decision, regardless of how your relationship is with your child's mother, you have to first, before anything, make a conscious decision. Hey, she's keeping the child, so now I have to go immediately into father mode. When I first find out that I'm pregnant, the first thing that I do is go into mommy mode. I start planning. I start stopping. I look at my situation right now, and I'm just like, okay, what can I change right now? And whatever I can change, I change it. Whatever I can't, whatever is a struggle, whatever I don't understand. Let's say I don't have a job. Let's say that I don't have a degree. Let's say I don't have any money. Okay, well, I need to do something about it. What am I going to do? Apply for jobs. You can't find a job. Trust God is going to meet your needs, okay? First and foremost. God is going to take care of your needs. He's going to cover everything that's going on in your life and what you're planning for, your goals. At this point, you ain't got time to be arguing, fussing, and getting upset about something, because at the end of the day, that you cannot change a person. You can't change how a person feels. At the end of the day, both of y'all lay down together. It's a strong possibility, whether you use condoms or not, whatever the case is, you know that it still takes two. So if they don't want to be there, they're just not going to be there. I feel like, to each his own, but I feel like if it takes two, it's your body. And let's say that there's no health conditions or anything, but you don't feel comfortable having this man's baby. God gave you that child for a reason. Whatever the reason is, only God knows most of the time, or you and God, whatever the case is. It's so much I want to say, but I'm going to just kind of hold my thoughts. It says, if I got to hire lawyers to go to court and etc., then I'll just step back until their mother is ready to have a conversation. 9 times out of 10, if that woman has already went to court, she's had more than enough conversations. And at this point, she's fed up. They've already repeatedly told me that they do not want to be there. So I am going to get as much resources and support as I can. Not everybody that get child support is going to spend it on frivolous things like hair, nails, whatever. That child support is really going to do something. It's going to go towards a bill. It's going to go towards a child. Whatever it is, if it goes towards a bill, yes, that's a bill that that relates to a child. Let's say that, you're short $20 or whatever, but you got child support money. So you're going to spend it on your child that already has everything, already has food, clothes, toys, wants, needs, all of that, but you're short on your bills, so you rather get your lights cut off instead of using some of that child support money that your child is living under the same roof, like the roof I meant to say. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just so tired, but I wanted to get up here and just talk to y'all. To me, that's just a cop out, because for one, you talking about if I gotta hire lawyers, 9 times out of 10, these children's fathers don't have money to pay for lawyers, or they feel like if they do have the money and they don't want to go to court, they know that they don't have a fighting chance in hell that they will get what they're trying to get for them children. You know, a lot of the people as well, they go, these child's fathers, they go to court out of spite just so that they don't have to pay child support, or their child support is reduced. It just depends on the state, and it depends on the judge. I've been in so many situations where I felt defeated, and when I knew that enough was enough and I was tired and exhausted, I'm just like, Lord, it was so bad. I didn't know if I was going to live or die. I wasn't considering doing anything to myself, but I just felt like stress was going to take me out more than anything, because I was dealing with this situation. The more that I tried to get away, because sometimes, you know, these children fathers can get crazy, can get obsessive, can lure you in situations, you know, try to put a hit out on you, try to kill you themselves. Like, it's so many things that you kind of got to be cautious of and be aware of. You don't know what is going to take. If all of a sudden they've been fussing and all of a sudden they just come around and they're starting to be nice and it seems like everything is fine. Like, I would be very cautious of that, because you never know like what's going on, what's going through their head. If they feel like they're at wit's end and they really don't want to have a child, or they really don't want to be tied to you for the rest of their lives or whatever, like, you don't know what goes on and what their mental capacity is of what they would try to do to you and that child just because they just don't want a child. Like, you know, y'all seen those fatal attraction stories, and you know how they are, you know, they're fine one minute and then they just kind of flip the switch and just turn on you and end up murdering children, the child's mother, and then themselves, just because they felt like their situation was just too tough, that they couldn't just do the right thing and just be a parent in the first place. Like you have to understand this. If you're a single mother watching this, I want you to understand this. Children are a blessing, okay? It doesn't matter how they got here, because in my Bible, in the God that I serve, it says children are a blessing, okay? And we're all born into sin. So moving on, it says, until then, I'll continue being a father to the kids whose mother allows me to be. How selfish can you be? How ignorant can you be to say, I'm going to be a father to one child, but not be a father to the other child because I don't like the mother, because me and the mother don't get along? What is she telling you to do? Like, what are you so angry for? I'm not saying that bitter baby mothers do not exist, because they definitely do. But in this case, this is just pure ignorance. And the amount of men that was commenting and agreeing to what this man was saying, like, this is a grown man who is over 30 years old, which means that you've had more than enough time to make some type of good and positive decisions for yourself. I go to his profile pic and it's him smoking weed, him still outside on the corner, him still trying to be a rapper. You're 30. You're 30 years old. And you mean to tell me that this is your life and you rather bicker and argue? You're not even mad at your baby mama. You mad at how your life turned out. The way you're mad that the decisions that you made, now you're paying for it. And now it's like 10 times harder for you to get out of that situation. So instead of, you know, doing a man in a mirror and changing your life around and making decisions, now the only person that you can pick on that can accept it and that will tolerate it because you're their child's father is your baby mother. Come on now. So I said all this to say, when I tell you, y'all need to man up from the very beginning, okay? Man up, do what you're supposed to do. Take care of your child. It should never, ever have to go to court. The conversation should always be, okay, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I was unsure about, let's just say this is a scenario. I'm unsure about, this relationship. I'm unsure about, how to go about all of this. I have to step up to the plate. And although I don't want to be with you, I think that, we would do great as being co-parents. I'm going to be there. Anything you need, anything I need, we should, work together for the betterment of the child. It's already bad enough that the child is not living in a 2-parent household. But if we're both there and we're meeting both of their needs, and this has nothing to do with whatever I got going on at my house is my business. Whatever you got going on at your house, as long as it's not affecting the child, that's your business. Period. What can a mother say if she's not bitter? What can she say after that? Absolutely nothing. But why would you go immediately into, you need to go in and get an abortion? That's going to start a whole conversation right there. You need to, whatever it is that you're trying to tell them to do, you kind of starting off negative. You're trying to control a situation, but at the end of the day, this is her body. And if she doesn't want to go through the trauma or have to relive the moments of her getting rid of it, she should be able to make whatever decision and come to you and talk to you about it. Because you got to know that anytime that you lay down with a person, regardless of the safety measures that you think you've taken, you still have to understand that this is her body and it takes two. So if she becomes pregnant, it immediately should go into support and love and care. So that's all I have to say in this video. Comment below your thoughts. I just thought that this was completely absurd. And until next time, bye.